welcome back. Well, the indication from the SGX Nifty is that the start will be on the green side, but we have gotten fooled plenty of times in the past. Even yesterday, the markets indicated that the start would be green, and then we saw where it ended. Siddharth Bhamre of Angel Broking joins in. VP Singh of Pramerica Mutual Fund is also with us. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Mr. Singh, I want to start off with you. The wealth of opinion that we've got in the past couple of weeks seems to suggest that the most prudent thing to do now would be to wait a bit before deploying money, because you don't know how much more this knife could fall. Is that your view as well?
Yeah, hi, good morning. Yes, we agree with you. There are a couple of reasons, because India at this point in time is actually appearing to be quite well placed, but that's exactly the reason why we are seeing so much of sell-off, because the entire emerging market economies are in bad shape. The emerging market funds, the regional funds are going through serious redemptions, and looking at the data of the redemptions which are taking place, we expect this to carry on for another fortnight. And so impact of that will come on India, because if you see in the dollar terms, you see the Indian market actually has fallen the least. The investors are still sitting on a decent amount of profit in this particular market. So when you feel redemption pressure, and the context when you compare, say, in the Chinese market where 60% of the market is at this point in time illiquid or you cannot exit, so investors are booking profit, and we expect that to carry on for some more time. And that's the reason why I think it makes sense to wait and deploy depending upon once we see the tapering of this sell-off taking place. Here we would like to qualify that we do not believe that we are going to just keep going down, because one needs to compare what's happening in the debt market and with the equity market. You will see there's not a single redemption coming on the debt side from the global investors, which clearly indicates that they are very positive on India. What they are doing at this point in time is just booking profit because they are under pressure elsewhere.
Okay, point taken. But what about your own investors, Mr. Singh? Okay, first, good morning to you. Are you seeing any signs of your investors telling you to stop SIPs, saying that let things stabilize, why should I lose money month on month? Or are there even redemptions?
Well, good morning, Lata. See, we have been pointing this particular fact out to our investors in the past. We have been telling them that global markets are not in a bull market, because you can't have a bull market with zero interest rates. Practically, other than India, the rest of the world is currently running on stimulus or zero interest rates. So we have been pointing out to them that these volatilities are here to stay and will continue to take place. India is an economy where there is no stimulus. On the contrary, there is some amount of liquidity withdrawal on the black money side which is taking place. So these are the times when one should be looking to invest. And in fact, what we are seeing at this point in time, we went around aggressively speaking to our investors, and we are actually seeing inflows, and we have been telling our investors that we would be using this opportunity to deploy, not necessarily right now today itself, but as and when we see the market tapering off, we'll actually start deploying.
So you haven't faced any redemption pressure at all in the last fortnight or so?
On the contrary, we are seeing some inflows.
Okay.
So long as that's happening, perhaps people are not throwing in the towel. Siddharth Bhamre, good morning and welcome to the show. Well, what's the strategy on the Nifty today? Would you use this mild green that we are seeing in SGX Nifty to short?
Good morning, Lata. We have been short from 8050 levels, and we continue to maintain our negative stance on the market. And FIs, we have been speaking a lot about them. Their selling in cash market continues. Beginning of September series, there was some amount of confusion on the FNO data. They were buying initially index futures, then they were sellers. And now there is clear-cut selling with the rise in open interest, which is visible. Though in option segment, again, they are not going beyond 7400 strike, 7200 strike. So selling would continue. Now, the million-dollar question is that those who have, missed out on shorting, should they short now? Answer to that is yes, because we are not seeing any meaningful bounce back which may happen in this market, be it 7650 or 7800. We are not expecting any kind of major bounce in market. but stock specific, it would be very difficult, to generate fresh short calls. Even if you look at the Bank Nifty, which is where the huge selling is coming from, continuous rise in open interest with fall in prices. And these are not retail HNI guys who are shorting Bank Nifty to hedge their portfolios or to speculate. These are these institutions who are fighting for FII's limit to be hiked in this private sector space so they can take more exposure. So we can clearly understand that these are the guys who are now hedging their positions by shorting Bank Nifty, and they are also selling their position in cash market segment. So I don't see any respite which would come in Bank Nifty immediately, especially in private sector banks. You may see some PSU banks here and there may show you bounce, but I'm very skeptical on private sector banks giving a huge bounce back. So taking all this into consideration, I'm not expecting a meaningful bounce back in market, and people should hold on to their short positions even if they are sitting on good amount of profit.
Okay, that's a fair point. So hold on to your short positions even if you're sitting on profits, because there could be more to go on the downside. But Mr. Singh, come in on a couple of spaces that have been under severe pressure. So one of them is the pharmaceutical space. Not as bad as banking, but in the last 1 or 2 weeks, we've seen incremental pressure on pharma names like, Glenmark Pharma, Divi's Laboratories, etc. What do you do at a time like this?
Well, we need to understand that some of these companies actually export to many emerging economies. What's happening now in countries like Brazil, Venezuela, Turkey and all those places, their currencies are completely out of control. The fiscal deficit and inflation over there is actually is threatening to actually go out of control. Now these are the places where if you are exporting your products, you are going to run into some kind of problem. Now pharmaceutical companies, those who are exposed to only to United States or have a larger chunk to United States, those stocks are fairly stable. But the ones who are exposed to emerging economies are coming under pressure, and so it's a myth that pharma stocks are completely stable, and we have been pointing out this in the past, that you need to take selective views on the stocks and need to take into account where they are exporting to and what they are exporting. So the pharma sector will also come under pressure, and selective stocks are coming under pressure due to the fundamental reasons.
Okay, actually somehow I thought Sonia would be more worried about the auto ancillary space. I mean, there are a bunch of good companies over there, but lately I have been seeing a lot of selling. Topping that list is Motherson Sumi, but even lesser models have seen a lot of selling, and some very good companies at that. Would you use that space to buy at all, Mr. Singh?
Well, as I mentioned that we would be looking to buy good companies, but not today, simply because we see some amount of sell is still possible across the board because of the emerging market redemptions. And the FIIs are going to sell. The domestic funds are not buying exactly what FIIs are selling. They are buying what they have in their portfolio, and that's why the market is coming down. So there is no need for one to rush and start picking them up right now. One can actually wait and buy on the bounce back.
All right, that's a photo finish actually. We are on the dot for the pre-opening rates to hit. Please stay on, gentlemen. We have more questions for you all. At this point in time, the Nifty, like the SGX Nifty indicated, is opening with a mild green tick, milder than what the SGX Nifty indicated. It's just 3 points higher on the Nifty and 28 on the Sensex. So it's amounting to 0.1. Oh, there goes the Nifty a little bit in the red. In any case, these are bids. These are not rates. These are not trades. So let's wait by. That's the rupee opening. That's a stronger opening for the rupee. We did see 66.82. Yesterday there was a last minute rush of selling on a completely unwarranted and wrong headline from Newsrise saying that that monsoon is worse than expected. So perhaps a little bit of the last minute stock market selling was misguided by this very unfortunate headline, which the Met quickly came in and denied. So the rupee market could adjust to it because the clarification came in by about 4 o'clock. The loss to the stock markets perhaps will be maybe some short covering in some stocks, especially those that were shorted in the last few minutes. The rupee market had enough time to correct, so this should be taken with both hands. Actually, the dollar has been weaker against many of the majors. It was just that it was slightly stronger against the Taiwanese dollar, so one wasn't sure how the Indian rupee might open. It's opened marginally, very marginally stronger. let's wait and see how things pan out. At least at this point in time, it looks like there is something positive going for the markets. It's not all hell breaking loose on the currency as well. Okay, let's get back to our guests and get a few more strategies from them. Siddharth, you have actually buy calls, and that too on PNB.
Yeah, Lata. So since last 2 weeks we have been generating only sell calls, and so today I decided I won't generate any sell calls because already a lot of sell calls are standing. So I was trying to find out some stocks which may not fall significantly and may show some bounce. Though I found it a bit difficult to find those stocks. So PNB is one among them. We have seen that there is no incremental short formation which is happening in PNB, unlike in SBI or private sector space, where a lot of short positions are getting formed. If I take some inspiration from technical analysis, then on Friday's session there was a hammer which was formed near the support of 125, 126. So I think this stock can show you some bounce. I'm not saying investors to invest in this, but traders who are looking for buying opportunities, thinking that market is oversold and some bounce back may come, then probably PNB can show some bounce. I'm expecting it can go to 138, 140 odd levels. Fix a strict stop loss of 121 and go long over there.
That the same argument holds for Bharti as well?
Not exactly the same argument, Sonia. What we have seen that last month, 24th and 25th, we have seen huge pile of positions over here. On the face of it, it appeared that these are short positions which got piled up near 350, 340 zone, which is strong support for Bharti. But since then, market has fallen significantly and Bharti did dip for a while, but is still hovering around same levels. So you have to change your mindset that those were only short positions. So I think Bharti should hold this support. I am expecting bounce in Bharti again. If you see Friday, this stock has shown some strength despite market was not that great. So I am expecting Bharti to bounce back. Though not very aggressive targets. 362 is what I am expecting. One can fix stop somewhere around 339.
Okay, Mr. Singh, would the export-oriented companies become a little better now, for instance IT and to some extent even pharma, because of the rupee's decline?
Well, rupee appears to be declining, but let's not ignore the fact that rupee has appreciated vis-a-vis non-dollar currencies substantially. So the only companies who export to United States at this point in time, or a chunk of their exports to United States, are going to be better. But rest all, we need to be very careful because other currencies are weakening much faster at this point in time.
Okay, earlier on you were telling us how you have been speaking with your clients and indicating that the global growth trajectory continues to slow down. What does a retail investor do in a situation like this? I understand that one can deploy money at a time like this, but how do you churn your portfolio? What are the sectors that you would advise increasing allocation to and the sectors that you would advise staying away from?
See, for example, today, if you see the commodity prices have come down drastically. If any infrastructure project which is created today, it's going to be created at half the cost what it was 3 years ago. Whatever infrastructure China created, India is now in a position to create the same infrastructure at almost 50 to 60% cost. So these are the sectors which will actually become very important now. Now, the moment the dumping which is right now taking place, which is we call unwinding of inventories which are taking place, once that stabilizes, the prices which will become of the commodities will actually help India to actually build its infrastructure. So it's not consumption, it's investment which is going to drive the Indian economy. And so we are actually focusing on that side, which we have been consistently taking stand since last 6 to 8 months, and we are focused there, and because that's where we see improvement of ROCE, that's where we see the improvement of the return for the investors. So anything which is related to investments and whichever sector supports it, whichever sector finances it, all those stocks are where we are focusing, and that's exactly what we are communicating to our investors. And we have been telling them that consumption story is over, because reducing interest rates, by that you can just prepone your consumption, you cannot increase the consumption, and practically the rest of the world is guilty of that. We are very happy that our central bank has not followed that policy, so we are in a better off position.
But what about OROP? That's going to put some money in. Then the 7th pay commission will put some money in. You don't think there's a consumption play in all those?
Well, that will definitely have an effect on consumption, but let's not ignore this government is focused on improving efficiency, and so various steps which they have taken in the recent past has reduction in the substantial reduction in the black money. So what is going to take place through this OROP or the pay commission money is just going to replace that. So we are going to just go back to our original consumption level. We are not going to increase the consumption on account of that. But what is actually helping is that the cost of capital coming down because of this, because of the reduction in the black money, etc. And that means the IRR of the various infrastructure projects are improving. And that's where we are seeing the substantial investment which will take place going forward, and that's the area where we are focused on.
Yeah, one hopes, of course, the impact of black money reduces. That will be good for all. Siddharth, you have this couple of buys that you gave us, PNB and Bharti. I'm a little surprised HDFC is not in that list. You don't think there's more green there?
HDFC Limited you're talking about,
yes,
right?
Yes, the housing company.
So last week, if you remember, Lata, we had shorted this counter around 1200 with a price target of around 1108. So that worked out. So we don't want to get into an overconfident zone that we will catch the fall also and we'll catch the bounce also. It is quite possible stock may bounce, but the bounce may not be significant. And rather than even ICICI Bank, SBI, Tata Motors, even these stocks can show you some slight bounce. And a trader who is looking from 1 or 2 day perspective can can trade with positive bias. But point is that in such kind of market, Lata, simple analysis is working. Don't look at too much of technical analysis. If there is a lower top, lower bottom in your weekly chart, be seller. In derivatives research, if FIs are selling in cash market and forming index shorts, don't look at any other parameters. From that parlance, a positional trader who has horizon of 5 to 10 trading sessions should not go long. Not even go long in stocks which I mentioned, Bharti and PNB. These stocks are mainly for 2 to 3 trading perspective. So yes, to answer your question, SGFC can bounce, but if you are expecting that it will go back to 1220, 1250 odd levels, I think we are asking too much in this kind of market.
Okay, so just to extend that point further, Siddharth, yesterday we did see the 7200 puts open up. It added about, close to 4 lakh shares in open interest. For the rest of the series, what do you think the downside could extend to, given the data that we have already?
So in fact, yesterday's built up in 7200 put is nothing in front of what kind of built up this strike price has been seeing since beginning of September series. So if you look at the open interest is quite high in this put option, and FIs have been buying index options. So I am not surprised that these guys started buying 7200, 7300 put options when market was at around 7900, 8000 odd levels. It is not necessary always that market should oblige that it would go towards those levels, but these guys have bought this put option of 7200 at a premium of 45 rupees. So not necessarily they'll wait till 7200, they might book profit, but looking at the current context, making expiry related view, I would suggest stay short in this market. I won't be surprised if you are visiting those levels 7200, but it is not a thumb rule that we will definitely go in this series itself.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thanks guys for joining us and taking us through the pre-opening rates. You guys have a good day. Hopefully we'll see some green on the screen. That's the indication that we're getting in pre-opening. The Nifty has now settled higher by about 0.4%, and there are banks that are indicating that there could be a rebound in store. So PNB, Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank are up about 1%. But here are all the trading ideas from our experts that we got in the last 1 hour. Siddharth Bhamre's stock calls for today. He has 2 buy calls. First one is on Bharti, where he has a target of 362 and recommends placing the stop loss at 339. And the second one is a long call on PNB with a target of 140 and a stop loss of 121. So those are the 2 buy calls that he's given. But here's a quick recap of Shubham's stocks for today. He has 3 sell calls. The first is on Axis Bank with a target of 400 and a stop loss of 480. The second one is on IDFC, where he recommends placing the target at 105 and a stop loss at 132. And his final sell call is on Just Dial with a target of 600 and a stop loss of 890. He has only 1 buy call, and that's on HDFC, where he has a target of 1300 and a stop loss to be placed at 1078.
Right, let's give you some more trading ideas from our segment Super Sell.